Not many trainers win the same race 34 years apart. But then again, not many trainers win a Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe Tour. So after 3 troikas in 1979, it's down to this filly, Treve, to provide cricket Head-Maarek with a second Longchamp showpiece.
Treve got right up on the inside. She grabbed the lead. It's all over. This is a big win. Treve raced right away. She bolted in. Treve coming through with the Tory and grabs the lead inside the last 100 metres. She spread eagle the remainder of them and got herself out of a very tricky position there. Treve wins.
Okay, I imagine the Treve we're seeing now is a very different Treve to the one who made her debut at Longchamp.
Absolutely. Physically, she's not the same horse. She's grown, she's put weight on. That was a problem when she was younger, at the beginning of the year. She was a bit light, and now she looks great physically.
And is that just in maturity, in eating well? What brings about that improvement?
It's in maturity. You know, horses, they grow until they're 5, so she's not, she hasn't come to mature. She's not mature yet. She will still improve, I'm sure, because since the Vermeil, she has improved physically in a week time. You know, the Vermeil was last Sunday, so she put some weight on and she has improved a lot.
So as a racehorse, whether she was a Group 1 horse or a low-grade horse, this is a horse that you'd be saying to yourself, you know, she could be better at 4, 5 than she is at 3.
Well, she could be, as long as she stays the way she is now, I'll be very happy. Yes, she could improve physically, so she'll be better, absolutely.
Was she a horse that you always considered was a potential star, or did she take you slightly by surprise?
No, absolutely not. When we start working her as a 2-year-old, she showed ability very quickly, and she was the best 2-year-old I had in my yard since the beginning. I had nothing who could go with her. Nothing with that turn of foot, or no horse, or even the colts, I didn't have anything. So she proved very quickly that she was good. And then the rest had to come with it. Physique and everything had to come with it. So we took our time. I didn't race her in Deauville. My idea was, when she was a 2-year-old, it was to take her down to Deauville. There's a very good race called the Prix des Marais in Deauville, over a mile. And it's a race that I like. But she was not capable to do it, so I give her time. And I race her once, that's all.
You might think she might show that speed at home because of her dam and the sire of her dam, which is a family you know well. Treve, of course, Freddie
trained her, yeah.
Anna Barr,
yeah, absolutely.
you trained and Freddie rode. So,
yeah.
But at that stage, although she's by motivator, you might think that staying distances could be beyond her even.
You know, I never... It's something that people will think I'm a bit crazy, but I forget...
Well, don't think it.
No, but I mean, I train horses. I want you to understand that what horses show me, that's where I go with them. I forget that she's by such and such or the dam or whatever, because sometimes you've got horses who are only stamina horse and they're fast. I had the case with a filly called African Rose. She was raised to go over long distance, and she won 5 furlong. She won a Group 1 over 5 furlong. I mean, you have to train your horses what they show you. That's what you have to do, without thinking that she can stay or not stay or wherever she goes. And I forget easily the Sar or the Dam. I've had so many horses in my life built to go long distance, and they were sprinter, and the reverse. To be sprinter, and they used to stay. So you have to train a horse, and the horse will show you his ability, and then, well, that's all.
So your instinct was telling you the stamina
exactly.
was no problem?
No, it didn't look like that. What she's got, that filly, is a tremendous turn of foot. The acceleration she can prove, it's incredible, and that's the class of a horse.
It's in the early days that you have to make entries for races like the Arc. And of course, this is a filly that started off in September 2012 and then just had 3 runs this year.
Yes.
Why would you not enter her for the Arc if she was showing you so much?
Because she was a light frame filly, and my idea was to run the Arc next year as a 4-year-old. Not to give her a tough things to do as a 3-year-old, to have her, you know, going through the age easily. I wanted to save her. I did it on purpose. Not to be not to have to go to the Arc, because it's a tough race, the Arc. People, they don't think, but the Arc is a killing race for horses. When you win or when you run the Arc, after the Arc, it's hard, you know. If you want to go to Breeders' Cup, it's so quick after the Arc. You can't do everything. Horses, they have some races to go, and then you have to save them.
If this filly was still in the ownership of the stud that bred her, your stud,
Yeah.
would she run in the Arc?
No, because I didn't put her in. And I did it on purpose. I mean, when she ran on the 14th of May, it was the day we had to enter the Arc. And that's when she won this year, her first race. And I thought, well, as she hasn't run, you know, she's not built enough to go there. We're going to pass the Arc and then go for Breeders' Cup maybe. And but the Vermeil, the Prix Diane and the Vermeil was always my target for her.
It's interesting because, I mean, the Sheikh Johan put pressure on you. She said,
no, he didn't put
pressure.
No, he didn't put pressure. He bought that filly because people told him that she was the best 3-year-old. And that was a filly to win the Arc. And I'm sure the people who say that to him were right. But she was not entered, so we have to supplement her.
But your instinct is usually right. Your instinct said, don't run in the Arc this year. And you've never supplemented a horse before, which means that 100% of the time before, you've always been right about where to aim a horse.
Yeah, but maybe I made a mistake. You know, we made mistakes. So maybe I should have put her in the Arc and be strong enough to say we don't run.
I guess this is a question that time will tell.
Exactly, time will tell. But one thing is that the filly has improved a lot. I mean, every race has bring her up and up physically, mentally and physically. And now she's capable to do it, with no doubt. She's capable to run the Arc with a good chance.
Talk us through the Diane. Chiquita obviously was, or is a class animal,
yes,
although
very,
a little bit...
fancy, but a very class horse. Yes, she's very good. And the form has been going on so well in that race, it's incredible. Yeah.
And that for fillies in France is the ultimate, isn't it, to win
yes,
Diane?
Absolutely. It's the best race you can win with a filly, is the Prix Diane. It's the race. Then the Vermeil, of course, but the Vermeil is tough because it's a prep race for the Arc, and it's a Group 1 himself, and you know, you have to be ready without giving them a hard race. It's not always easy to do it. Huh?
And the Foire and the Niel, they're trials. They're not Group 1. The Vermeil, there's substance to that, isn't it?
Yes.
If she never won another race, she's won a Vermeil.
Exactly. Mm.
And just thinking about this horse then, as in the sort of array of horses you've trained, you've likened her to have a mixture of Ravenella speed and 3 Troika stamina.
Yes, that's it's.
Some have said this is the best horse you have ever trained, Cricket, and you've been training a little while now.
Yeah, I think speed-wise, yes, no doubt. I mean, I've never trained a horse with that, you know, turn of foot that she can, wherever the race goes fast or the race goes slow, she can accelerate it. She showed it on Sunday, last Sunday. I mean, the way she came through, and then again she went to go to get Wild Coco. So she's got something that rarely horses, but that's the class, you know. She's a bit like Zarkava, to tell you the truth. If you want to compare her with, compare horses in my draft along the year, it's very difficult because it's not the same horses, not the same year, not the same physique, not whatever you want. But she has the speed of Ravinella, that's for sure. Ravinella had a lot of speed. Not the physique of Ravinella, because Ravinella was a small little thing. And the class of 3 Troikas, because that was one of the best horses I ever trained.
We've seen Intello run over a mile this season. And we hear trainers a lot of the time saying, oh, this horse has so much speed and he's running over sort of 3 miles, but he's still fast enough to win over 6 furlongs. But I get the idea with Treve that if she was in a Moulin or something, you wouldn't feel she would be disgraced in any...
No. She can go anywhere because she's very handy. She doesn't pull. You can put her anywhere in any pace. She's won. When she won the Prix Diane, it was the fastest pace you could find. She broke the track record and the race record. They went like 100 miles per hour that day. She was waiting behind, you know, lobbing along without pulling. And then when she came, she showed tremendous turn of foot. The other day in the Vermeil, it was not the same. They were hacking in the Vermeil. And she did exactly the same. I mean, the turn of foot that she showed made her win. Huh? There's no...
Would you have any doubts about her stamina? And I know the fact you started over a mile, you might just think this is a silly question, but any doubts if it was a really strongly run arc, could she still power home off a strong pace like that, or would that just suit her more?
Yes, I'm sure she will be suited by a strong pace. Because the other day she pulled a bit, you know. She was free. I mean, she pulled like a filly who didn't run since June. So she was free early on, but she was free because there was not enough pace for her. I'm sure she would have won as easily if there was pace in the race.
What do you feel about the arc as a whole? You saw the Niel, you saw the Foix, you've seen most of the horses, I'm sure, at close hand. Is there a horse in there that you think...
Every horse. You can fear every horse. It's never...
Every horse.
No, but I mean, you have to be... you have to fear everything because you never know. Racing, it's so difficult, you know, and it never goes exactly the way you think. But you have to be realistic, and there's a lot of good horses going into the arc, the best. So, you know, Orfèvre is a very good horse. Intello, if he runs, is a very good horse. Wherever they run a shorter distance, he looks a very good horse. I mean, there's many horses. Novelist, the horse of O'Brien. I mean, the other day he was beat, but he could have won all. So, you know, yeah. And then race, we don't know the draw. We don't know how many runner will be. You know, if you take, you know, if you locked in or wherever, you have to. You can't say she's going to win the arc. I hope so, of course. Back of my mind, I hope we'll do it. But you can't be never sure. I mean.
34 years after.
Yeah, that would
three
be nice.
troikas.
That would be nice. Would be nice. Then I can retire. I'm joking. I'm not going to retire.